Hey gamers, I am CyberSnake7 and this is my video response to Paul Bradley's 250 sub competition. But firstly though, Paul, congrats mate, you're actually on 289 subs now, so brilliant achievement mate for the short amount of time I've been on YouTube. Just brilliant mate, and if anybody hasn't checked this guy out, I'll leave the information down below. Absolutely fantastic channel, the guy's clued up, he knows his stuff. And he's got a really interesting channel, so please check him out. But let's get on to the question. Now his competition question this time is, obviously you're stuck on a desert island and you're going to be there for the rest of your life. You need to take 10 games with you, only 10 games. What 10 games would they be? Now I've sat back and watched a couple of VR responses from other different YouTubers, and I've kind of thought about what I would take, because it's just not the case of taking your 10 favourite games, because you've really got to understand you're going to be there for the rest of your life. So yes, in my selection there's going to be a couple of games that I've played and done a couple of times, a few times in fact, but I know full well I would go back to them. But in there as well there's just a good mix of, you've got puzzle element, platform, and you've also got games that I haven't yet completed, and they're very difficult in terms for me to play them, and I think they're good games for me to have in the collection, because they're kind of games that I need to master, and you need to master these games, and it take me anyway quite a while to learn and to master them properly. So these 10 I'm happy with, so let's get on with game number one. Now game number one is a puzzle game. And I think it's a perfect game to keep the old grey matter going as you're going to be on your own. And the first game is Karusha. Excellent puzzle game. Obviously it's like a 3D Tetris in a sense, but you're a guy who's got to stop cubes that are constantly rolling towards you. You've got to make them disappear before they knock you off the edge of infinity technically. But as I say, this will keep the grey matter rolling over and keep you basically sane, because it's a fast-paced and a very intelligent puzzle game. So I'd definitely have this in my selection to keep the old grey matter going. So that's Karusha. Now game number two is the only RPG I've put in the entire 10. Everybody seems to think, well, let's put in the Final Fantasy and that, but I've chosen not to put the Final Fantasy VII in. Even though it's this one and Final Fantasy VII are the only two RPGs I've actually ever completed, I found this one to be more intriguing, and it is Parasite Eve. Absolutely love this game. It's more cinematic than it is an RPG, but it's a cinematic RPG, and I just found it more interesting. And it's definitely one of those types of games that I'd go back to, and I've done it twice now, so you know, that says it all. I've actually gone through this twice, so it is an RPG that I've found interesting, and I definitely go through it a number of more times. But as I say, brilliant RPG and definitely my choice. It was very close between this and number two, but number two is more arcadey feel, so I thought this for the RPG factor. So that's my second game, that's Parasite Eve. Now game number three is a platformer, and all I can say is realistically you can't go on an island without a bit of Mario. So game number three is Mario 64. This game's just revolutionary, and it's technically just one of the best Mario games you could ever have. I've never fully completed it, to be honest with you. I've got about 106 stars. The challenge is there to get the 150, so that would keep me busy alone just to try and get the 150 stars. Plenty of secrets, you know, there's just tons of stuff to do in this game. Yes, I have done it a couple of times, but I've never fully achieved the full 150 stars. So in that alone, and plus it's a Mario game, I need to say no more about it, but this is a definite for me, and that's Mario 64. Now game number 4, I'm going to cheat a bit here. because it's another Mario game, and it's another game that I've never fully completed, and there's more secrets and more levels I've undiscovered in this game than the previous one, and that is Super Mario World. These two games alone would keep me busy, simple as, but I had to add this one. I had to add this one into my selection because it's just an absolutely fantastic and legendary platform game, simple as. As I said before, plenty of secrets. I've never yet fully completed this game. Also, I've done it but never fully completed it, so the challenge is there again to complete this 100%, just like Mario 64. So that's my fourth game. My fifth game is one of my favourite platform franchises of all time. I've done this game probably about 6 or 7 times, and I never get bored with the thing. It's just impossible to get bored with. But it is Castlevania IV for the Super Nintendo. An absolute all-time favourite platform game of mine. No two ways about it. It doesn't matter how many times I play this game. I know what's coming. I know where to go. You just know what to do. Simple as. But I still put this on, and I still play it through all the way to the end every single time. I just will never get bored of this game. So that is definitely one of the first games I've put in there, which I can say, yes, I've played it a number of times and I completed it fully, but I just won't ever get bored of this game. So that's game number 5. That's Castlevania IV for the Super NES. Now, game number 6. Yep, game number 6 is a shooter, and possibly the only shooter up in there. But everybody probably would have gone for probably the likes of a Dreamcast shooter or Thunder Force and that. But I've gone for this one, which is Wings of War, which is technically Gynog, but this is the American version. This game to me is a really tough but very weird shooter. As I say, the graphics ain't fantastic, but the gameplay and it's just the weirdness of the game, the challenge in itself. I've never got past the 4th stage, I think, but it is a very challenging shooter. Not that there ain't many more challenging shooters out there, but this one to me has always been a favourite of mine, and I've really enjoyed this, and I'll still and always will stick this on just to try and get that little bit further. So a definite choice for my island choices, and a very tough challenging game. That's Wings of War / Gynog for the Mega Drive. How many is that? 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Game number 7, firstly a swig. Game number 7 is a game that most of us would probably agree is probably one of the hardest PS3 games you could ever imagine to have. And this game is a definite choice of mine because 1, I do like the game, but 2, I know how hard it really is, and to master this game would be an achievement in itself, to be honest. And that game is Dark Souls. If anybody has ever played this, you'll understand how difficult this game is. There's so much to it. It's tactical, the right choice of weaponry, the right choice of how you go in and attack certain creatures and monsters. It is absolutely, you got to be pin perfect in every way for this game, because your ball's up and you know about it, simple as. And you've got to put some serious time and effort in to pick up good weapons and spells and magic, everything. It is so difficult, but a definite choice of mine because the game is so balls hard, and a great choice because at the end of the day, to achieve and master this game would be an achievement itself. So that is definitely a game worthy of being in my top 10. So that's Dark Souls for the PS3. Right, game number 8. You can't go on an island without a fighting game. Well, I certainly can't anyway. Now, everybody's, or mostly everybody's choice would be Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, perhaps, or King of the Fighters. But for me, no. This is a standalone fighting game for me. I've always liked the anime series, but this game has got so many combos and things you got to learn about it and techniques. This game would keep me happy forever, seriously, as a fighting game. And it's not everybody's choice, but I absolutely love this game. If you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. It's Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken. Absolutely fantastic 2D fighting game, beautiful graphics, and as I say, the technical challenge and the combo, learning the combos and to master each character in this game is an achievement in itself. And as I say, one of my all-time favourite fighting games. Yes, you got your Street Fighters and your Mortal Kombats, which I do, and your King of the Fighters I do dearly love, but this game to me is a standalone fighting game which I'd absolutely 100% take with me. So that is game number 8, guys, and an absolute must for a fighting game to take with me on the island. That's Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star. Game number 9. It's a game, but it's a compilation, so I don't know whether this counts, but I think it does, because all of these games are very, very challenging. I've only actually done 1 of 6 of these games. So the game that I'll definitely take with me is the Mega Man X collection. As I say, I've managed to do Mega Man X originally on the Super Nintendo, so having the other 5 games to complete would be an entire challenge in itself, because these are probably some of the toughest platform games you could ever play. If you're not a Mega Man fanatic, I do like Mega Man, but obviously mastering how to basically go through the bosses in the correct order and things like that, you know, it's just a challenge in itself as far as I'm concerned. So absolute must, and a fantastic platform game, and a great selection of games, and that keep me busy for a long time. That's Mega Man X collection. Right, down to the final one. These ain't in any order, by the way. This is just 10 games that I'd literally take. Game number 10 for me is this Resident Evil 4. Without doubt, apart from Resident Evil 2, which is mostly everybody's favourite without doubt, but I found it far too easy. This to me would be my Resident Evil choice. Resident Evil 4, absolutely fantastic game. I've never got bored of it. I played this 2-3 times, gone through it, and each time it's just an absolute classic game. And trying to play this on professional is, oh my god, it's so tough on professional. But absolutely fantastic game. I wouldn't choose another Resident Evil over this, to be honest with you, because it's just such an awesome and an original title. Shame it's gone downhill a bit with Resident Evil 6, but gotta say, this game is absolutely awesome, and easily the Resident Evil choice for me to take on the island and play it over and over again. So there you go, Paul, and there you go, gamers. They are my top 10 games that I take with me on the desert island. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. All the best to who wins the competition, and as I say, check Paul's channel out. Fantastic YouTuber, and you deserve all your 289 subs, mate. Hope there's more to come. I'll leave it there. As always, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, guys. Keep watching.